Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by AndyMark. Are you competition ready? Go to andymark.com and keep your team inspired. And by the Blue Alliance. Keep up to date on all live and archived First Robotics events and team stats at thebluealliance.com. First Updates Now is brought to you by viewers like you. Fun relies on the generous support of our fans in order to continue to keep creating content. Please consider donating, giving bits, or subscribing. Subscribe for a few bucks a month or for free through Twitch Prime. And don't forget that our subscribers get 5x chance to win on all giveaways.
Hello, welcome to First Updates Now Australia. We're glad to be here in a series of shows focused only in what's going on in FRC Down Under. We'll be a total of 3 shows, including this one, where we not only talk about the Australian teams, but also about both of the Sydney regionals. Reporting for First Updates Now, I'm Jezzer Becker, a mentor for 144613 Barker Redbacks.
I'm Riley, a team member of 5985 and a volunteer of First from Wollongong.
It's good to remember, unfortunately today we not have Jassy from Team 5333 because she's right now doing field setup for the event that we're playing tomorrow. So let's get this thing started. Riley, what are the topics for today?
Topics for today, we have a quick build season recap and then an overview of teams at our first event, the Southern Cross. We'll then also analyze scrimmages and robot reveals, and then we'll have a look at speculation and predictions.
That's good. So build season. First, if you don't know, Wollongong is that special area in Australia.
Special.
That yeah, very special because they always came for competitions with very good teams. As a matter of fact, like FLL or FRC. Is that right, Riley? How was the build season there?
Yeah, it's correct. We are very focused on FLL in Wollongong. It's been noted by quite a few Australian FLL volunteers that it has consistently strong FLL teams. However, that's not what we're here to talk about. Build season for us was no less than hectic, waiting for the parts, our mandatory mid-season stuff-up, and of course money. Being a young team, we don't have very many sponsors, but the ones we do have make a huge difference to how we do during the season. I think it was halfway into build season, we actually shared our field setup with 6579, helping them figure out some of their issues on their robot. From actually seeing it quite early in the season, I can tell you that they will be a force to be reckoned with. We have a few connections with places like Vex for Australia, and that really helped us when we desperately needed parts. Just we've all seen the insane amount of performance per cubic centimeter on your robot. How did your season go?
So yeah, at Barker this season was very good and smooth. This is not normal for us. We had raw seasons 2 years ago and a year ago. But basically, in first week, we did all the prototyping and strategy part of the season. And at the end of first week, we had pretty much an idea what the robot would look like. Then because this is the first year that the mechanical team recognized that autonomous is very important for the robot to perform well in competitions because the game is very simple, right? So a lot of teams will be able to do the scale or the switch. So we decided to give more time for the programmers to actually make autonomous and teleoperate functions. So we spent good 3 weeks building the chassis. By week 3, they had a chassis. They will complain about. They will say that we didn't deliver in time. But the truth is they had a chassis to play with, and by week 6 they had a full robot to play with autonomous and stuff like that. If you see on our review video, we have one robot. 2 days later on the stop build day, we have a different robot, different intake. And we managed to got this 4-cube auto just before back time. So we are very happy. I'm also very happy because I managed to see other teams during the build season. I saw PLC in their amazing growth this year. They're coming with an amazing kicker, and you see in the competition. Also, teams like Artemis investing in an elevator arm this year. They are doing very well compared with what they did last year. And teams like Norman Hurst that are going for the combo switch vault bot. We had the opportunity to see them here in the scrimmage and help them out, and I think they're doing pretty good.
All right, as of tonight, we have 40 teams registered to attend the best regional in the world, and that is, of course, the Southern Cross Regional. 19 international teams, with a big chunk of those coming from China. Unfortunately, they won't actually be joining us. They ran into an issue and aren't able to make it. However, we do have 5 teams from Taiwan, 2 from India, and from memory, one of those came to the 2016 Australian Regional, 1 team from Vietnam, Singapore, and Hawaii, and the remaining 21 all from the land down under. Jessa, how do you think this will go with a pretty much even split of international teams?
At first, I like the idea of having an international event because some teams just have this opportunity to go to championship or now half championship. And in Australia, we can have this every year. So we have like so many countries coming. It's good to actually give the proper kudos to Team 31, 32, and First Australia to actually bring these teams here. It's a lot of work. I cannot imagine how hard it is for a team from India to come to Australia. And I know they actually, 31, 32, and First Australia did this. So thanks for that, because it's amazing to have this atmosphere in the events. It's sadly that the Chinese teams will not be able to come. We don't know exactly the reason, but we know they pull off in the last minute. And I can see, for example, even local teams like Drop Bears, they actually had the first Swerve Drive in 2016, which in my opinion was the wrong year for a Swerve Drive. And now they come back 2 years later with a way better Swerve Drive in a year that is actually good. So I'm curious to see how they play in this regional, as well as like we have Raid Zero coming back after 2 years. So it's good to see like all this team meeting together. And the Wollongong bringing complete chaos and the secret Bucephals because you don't know nothing about your Robo Riley.
I'm sorry, but we've tried to keep it under wraps. We should be coming out with a reveal video soon.
That's good. We have 1 day.
One day.
Yeah, you have one day to release your review.
Oh, we'll see how that goes. Let's see.
Okay, so we know the teams that are coming. Now let's talk about review videos. Let's see what the teams bring to the competition. So, Riley?
Yeah. So.
I would talk about the Redback scrimmage. Yes, before the reviews, we had this scrimmage. It was amazing. We had 11 teams registered for it, but just actually 6 end up coming here, and just 3 made to the field, or 4. So if you've seen the video, the video actually shows PLC and Artemis playing. It's the Redback scrimmage. Okay. So if you see, PLC has an amazing bot. They literally have a good kicker, even better than Barker right now. And then we have Artemis in the other corner of the video. They're trying to, right now is autonomous. So like you see PLC doing they have autonomous for both switch positions. I don't know why they go all the way around, but it's working, so it's good. And Artemis is doing an elevator arm this year. So if you don't know, Artemis had a very bad luck last year, like 3 yellow cards and not even qualifying to eliminations. I don't see this happening again. They have a solid bot, and they at this scrimmage they were like tweaking and fixing it, but like by now they should be all good. We also had here Norman Hust with the switch and vault bot, and happily don't have video about it. And as I said, the Drop Bears came with the Swerve Drive, and it's like really good this year.
All right, so we're looking at we look at Artemis and we look at PLC. They look very strong. Those robots are incredibly solid. Both of them they both have clapper arms from the looks of it, wheel intakes. Do you think that system of intake is good, Jessa, or do you not have an opinion?
I think the good intake is intake that intakes the box. I don't really mind what kind of intake they have, or if they don't. Like if it's working, it's working. Here at Barker, we had 18 versions of the intake right now. So our robot in the review video has the version 15. Our robot in the bag has the 16, and right now we are in version number 18. That will be updating as soon as I arrive in the region. So if your intake works, just stick with it.
Yeah, that's a definite. They are both solid.
So let's talk about Complete Chaos then, your brothers.
Oh yeah, our brothers, or sworn enemies, I don't know, they're real nice people. We love them, we really do. They put up this video a few days ago. It's all about their build season, how they designed their robot. There's a lot of fooling around and things like that, I guess. They operate out of one of their mentors' garages, I believe. So they've had quite a small space area to work in. So hence why they came down to our field setup.
Yeah, what I can say about Complete Chaos, I remember they winning Rookie All-Star last year, right?
Yeah.
And if you're watching this and didn't watch the region last year, Riley from Bucephalus were actually involved in that situation where you have Bucephalus and Complete Chaos getting like 2 yellow cards and got eliminated from like semifinals after they won the match or something. So it's good to see Complete Chaos coming back with a robot that looks like an elevator arm to do like scale, switch, and vault. So it's good to see these guys coming back after Rookie All-Star, and I hope to see them tomorrow actually doing everything with no problems at all.
They definitely deserved Rookie All-Star last year, I must say.
So now I'd like to talk about 8636.
6836. 6836.
Sorry, yeah, of course, 6836. The best part of all this team is because after they build the robot like every day, they can just go and cross the street and go to the beach, because this team is located in Manly Beach, and if you don't know, Manly is one of the best beaches in Australia. People from Perth would say that they have the best beaches, but like, who cares? So
yeah.
They were actually here during the scrimmage, but unhappily I didn't see them working in the match. But from what I can see is like they have a switch, maybe just vault bot. It will be like interesting to see these robots playing at Southern Cross, because I saw in other regions that like a vault bot only can be very effective and do it quickly and then do defense later on. So I think it's a good team to have in your alliance if they are specialized as in vault or switch. So I'm quite happy with the way they did. And the most important thing for a rookie team, the best decision is always like select something that you can do well and then be effective on it, and not try to do like something that you will not be able to achieve.
Yeah, definitely. This team in Manly, they're quite lucky to be so close to the beach, I guess. We had a few scorches down here in Sydney, Wollongong area. I don't know how that affected you guys that much up in Barker, but it definitely hurt us a bit. We're going to look at, what are they? Qualified 69.96 from Adelaide. They are a fairly new team, splitting off from, I think it was Robotics. Please don't quote me on this, I could be very wrong. As you can see, their robot is quite maneuverable in systems. Yeah.
So what I can say about this robot, first I like the fact that they are another rookie team, but that actually this one managed to do scale and switch, not only switch and vault. So I'm actually curious to see how they perform in competition, because like, first year you have a lot of troubles that you don't know yet, like deal with bad batteries and stuff like that. So I would be very curious to see how they perform. And I didn't see any autonomous from them, but this year the game is very like open. If you have your alliance can do like vault, switch, and scale, doesn't matter what the quantity, you can win matches. So I'm very curious to see how they perform well. So now I would like to talk about Team 5584 IC Robotics. Everybody knows this team in Australia, right?
Yeah.
They didn't release a review video, but they actually released like 2-cube auto video, which is actually impressive. Knowing this team, I remember they winning DDU with us in 2015, I think. So it's nice to see the growth of a team, and they are being like very solid and reliable in the last 3 years. So in their video, you can see like, can you see the video, Tyler? Yes, 5584. No, it's IC Robotics. Okay, so it's fine. We don't have the video, but like they release, if you go to YouTube and look for IC Robotics, you can find the 2-cube auto, which if they manage to do this reliable in the match, will be a great advantage for their alliance.
So you guys, 4613, your reveal, that insane robot that maneuvers like a champ and, well, surprised us all, really. I in Wollongong here, we're all in awe. We had a look at your reveal multiple times in an afternoon, and seeing it in action will definitely be a bonus for a lot of teams. You guys are probably the pinnacle of Australian engineering when it comes to FRC.
Thanks.
But if we have a look at that air tank on the robot, that 600 psi it can hold.
Yeah, we can just use 120 and happily, but
Yeah, but that air tank is insane.
yeah. So I'm like suspicious to say, but like I'm very like happy with this robot this year. The kids did an amazing job. It's nice to be one of those teams that people point as like mentor build, because when you reach like this level, you feel okay, we actually did it. But we even have this concern to actually see if the robot's mentor build or not. So we have this like we ask the kids at the end of the season like anonymous. A questionnaire to see, and then the results are like, yes, we built this robot. So the students built this robot, which is very good. But yes, if I'm happy to put Bakar in the group of mentor build complaints, because we feel important now. The best part of this robot is because when we decide to do like a small footprint, we actually decide based on the fact that we needed to travel for international regions back to back. At the time, we're actually going to like Shenzhen and then maybe aerospace regional. So
how many regionals would that have been altogether?
4. Our goal is to play 4 every year, but like unhappily this year this school added another week in term 1, so we couldn't do that. But we built a small robot to actually travel, and now we are not traveling, so which is funny. Other reason we decided was basically to actually put the robot in like small spaces. So while we have an elevator arm using the side of the scale, we can be under the scale just kicking like you just saw in the video. And at the end, we basically fell in the fever of like the mini bot, because we built a mini bot for DDU last year, and then 148 ended up like getting all the fame for their mini bot, which is very similar. So it's good that we have a funny little Rob running around the field in the official event now. We decided to kick the cube instead of like place, because we believe that like it's better to put the first 4 cubes in the scale than actually like get into a dispute for like who owns the scale. So we want to be the team that can put like 4 to 6 cubes very quickly in the match. And when the other teams start actually filling the scale, we already won the first half of the match, so we can control the rest with like defense or even like their switch and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And we're happy that plays out that like few teams use the same strategy. So we are hoping if we qualify to be a different team at champs, so we can actually ally with the average elevator bots and get like good results from it. But we are very happy. And like autonomous wise, I need to say that like or like programming team this year is amazing, right? So we have, I think, 6 kids in the programming team, and they are doing a great job. They did the 4 cube auto. Now we have a 3 cube auto for every single position in the field, and we are working on a 5 cube auto. That's possible now, but like would be 3 switch and 2 scale. So we are very happy and looking forward for the competition.
Okay, your robot is probably one of the top I can pick, along with Raid 0 and probably 3132. That will probably go into winning the Southern Cross and the South Pacific Regional. Who would you say could be a contender for that competition?
Okay, so I need to talk about Raid 0, right? If you're talking about who is winning or who will win the regional, these guys went to New York, Central New York Regional just a week ago, and they ranked 2nd in that first week event. So first, they're amazing kids and amazing team. And to be fair, it's one of my favorite teams right now out of international teams. And you can see that they have a very solid elevator arm, a very good strategy team. And they have autonomous covering basically all the switch positions and eventually scale. I also like the fact that they have a climber that can climb with other robots very easily. So just imagine this team will be at Autocross tomorrow, and they already played the region. They rank second, and they play finals. They know how to play this game. And we know that before we play the game, a lot of things will change in our strategy. And if you're like here at Bakker, we have a half practice field. And we know that like we have challenges to adapt the robot to the full field. So in my opinion, Raid Zero is the biggest favorite to win the event. And I would definitely point out that 3132 is right next to it. We don't know, we know nothing about 3132 right now. So like they didn't send any like clue or any review video or any practice video about the robot. But what I know is like, since now they're Hall of Fame, I can imagine their chairman saying like, looking around, it's like, what should I do? So I think now their focus will be like, okay, I want to go to Einstein and we need to have a good robot. So I'm kind of like, because I didn't release anything, I will be afraid until I see the robot. And I expect literally great things from them because now that I know they're fully focused on the robot.
Especially with their facilities, they're quite good. They're based at Macquarie University for all those who don't know, with full capability of machining almost every part possible. They can definitely be a top contender. They're right up there.
Yeah, and what's your opinion, Riley? Who do you think will win the first Southern Cross Regional?
The Southern Cross Regional, it's kind of hard to say without seeing a lot of the robots, but from the previous 2 seasons that I've been a part of, probably we all know that Barker can take out the top place a lot of the time. But then we see teams like Raid Zero, 3132, and even Complete Chaos. They took out 4th place at Jordan Under, I believe. I can't remember too well. They are all very, very good teams. Their robots are top-notch, good engineering. They tick all the boxes, really.
Okay, so can you give us anything from Bucephalus? Can you just like show us a picture, a video, or anything?
All right. I'm going to go into the Blue Alliance, and I'm going to send this through to you guys.
Because like you guys are hiding the game too much. Like I don't understand that. So do you have any? I saw the picture in the Blue Alliance, but it's actually blurry. So can you explain how your robot works? It's
been very accidental. We haven't meant to keep it in the dark, really. But what we can say, we have a Bobcat arm that has a hinge at the front for a clapper, and it lifts all the way up to 7.5 feet. So if you see on the stream now, it has LEDs. Those LEDs are mint. They cost us a fortune. We love them. But the thing is, that's our second bot in that photo there. We were able to gain sponsorship from a local business that built our second robot. We have Lynx, our first robot, in a bag in our workshop, ready to be transported this afternoon. Our robot has pneumatics. It's really just a no-brainer to use that this season. Other than that, it's fairly simple. It's a simple design, nothing too special.
And why you guys put LEDs on your second robot? Can you explain me that, please?
We got the LEDs after we bagged up the robot.
Okay.
So we put them on, and we're taking them back off and putting them on our first robot at competition tomorrow.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Here at Barker, I don't like LEDs. If they're not doing like a status on the robot, like saying like front and back or something, or you intake the cube, but like our kids love LEDs, so they always want to try to convince us to put LEDs in the robot. It's just like, I don't see the point. It's just like, and all the LEDs pictures is on the dark, and the competitions like have a lot of lights around it. So
there should be a light photo on the Blue Alliance there. There should be. Should be fairly bright. Can't find it now though. Give me a sec.
No problem. Do you want to talk about Chairman's Award because we have some time now?
Yeah, there it is. Beautiful. So that was our design earlier in the season. that was before Complete Chaos actually came and visited us. We decided to have a bit of fun and put a bit of balls in it, because why not?
That's cool.
So, chairmans. Coming from a regional chairmans award team, 1595 and 4613 are both RCAs. 3132 is out of it this year. They're one Hall of Fame. So it's really anyone's game. Like, I know 1595 will be coming at you guys with a very, very strong chairman's award. We've been working on it for quite a while now, since mid last year even.
Yeah, so what can I say? Like, this is true, right? After 3132, and I can say from me, is like, I was super happy when they won Hall of Fame, because one, they deserve it, like they're like overdue by at least 3 years, and second, because finally we can compete in chairmans without like being like 3132 winning every single time, because it's impossible to beat them in chairmans. They literally like implement like robotics in different countries and in Australia itself. We all here basically were created by 3132. So now that they're finally Hall of Fame, we can have a chance. So if my bet this year is like, I think at least one of the regionals, of course we'll be in one of the regionals, I think Artemis can get the Chairman's Award, because during...
Artemis won the 2016 Rookie All-Star, didn't they? From memory?
Yes. And I can see through like Facebook and Twitter that they are working a lot to get their community involved. So like even like Barker Wetbacks went in one of their workshops in the off season about programming, and I know they're working a lot for it. So I will put Artemis out there with 3132, 5333, because everybody knows like 5333 from Perth. They actually help a lot for Australia to implement FRC and other programs in Perth. And we also have IC Robotics from Victoria. And you guys are definitely real contenders from Wollongong. So I think we're very like hard to win. Here at Barker, we're still doing it and work hard for it. But like competition for chairmans in Australia, I'm here to say that like Australia, to win chairmans in Australia is harder than any other regional. The reason for that is like last year we competed twice in Australia, one in China, and we didn't manage to win Charmans here. We ended up winning Charmans in New York. So this is a proof that like winning Charmans in Australia is very hard. So I'm very happy.
Australian regionals aren't as easy as one might think, because it's a new regional. People may think, oh, it's easy, new teams. That may be true, but there are very strong teams here. There are teams doing quite a bit for chairmans to inspire new communities, etc.
So that's it. Hope to see you all in Southern Cross. This is everything that I have for today. Do you have anything to say, Riley?
I do not.
So thanks for watching us. If you have any questions or even like suggestions for future shows, don't forget to tune in and fun Discord, and we will listen and type with you there. Thanks for watching. See you at the regionals. Don't forget to watch the live stream. If you are in US, imagine that you can go like very late in the night just watching matches, or like Tyler needs to wake up like at 6 a.m. when the show is like at 9 p.m. Sydney. So if you have nothing to do between midnight and 6 a.m., just watch Australian regionals. Thank you very much. See you later.
See you guys.